to see these two teams kind of go at it once again. Of course, Reciprocity has to get through Fire and Ice first as we head over towards Exhibit, which appears to be their map pick. So if you're Reciprocity right now, you're feeling pretty good heading into your own map pick with a 1-0 lead. We're on board right now with Exploits, the new pickup for this Fire and Ice team. He's going to kind of rotate over towards his teammates. First Blood going to go in favor of Rushy's. Exploits still trying to find someone on Rec. Ends up taking out one, cleaning up the down kill as well. He continues to move forward now. Powers and Fran heading over towards the B hill. Exploits, Choche there waiting for him. Can they take down the King and his new sidekick? One member down on each team. Powers goes to the revive. Unfortunately gets the animation. Still manages to get the final down. It's the right pellet that mattered the most. Advantage Reciprocity.
And this is one guy that I'm so excited to watch, especially with the new movement update. I know for a lot of people out there, it's maybe not been treated the kindest necessarily, but even still yet, in light of it, Powers, I mean, you've talked about him too previously, just a guy who can really maximize the movement. I think this is a very scary player who has now kind of almost received a little bit of an upgrade, who probably didn't even need one, but gets one nonetheless. Now with this kind of different movement change, this could be another kind of moment for him to prove yet again that he is one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, I mean, basically, he kind of somehow just got a buff, right, off the back of winning a championship, and that, the update comes that makes his game even that much stronger. So definitely a scary player on the map, probably the scariest player on the map to me. Rush, getting a nice little buff himself too. Another player very good with movement, but it looks like Raver, young player in the LATAM scene that everyone keeps talking about, hitting some nice shots, making some good moves. F&I back on the aggression. Icy manages to kind of equalize at least one of the members, but he knows he can do that with more. He knows his team's down in numbers, tries to find a way to get out. He's met by members of F&I at all angles. Even takes out Exploits on the way out, so not the worst trade in the world. Of course, Reciprocity still holding that time lead. F&I trying to kind of just chip away.
King Choche taking a quick little look at his kingdom, decides to go back up and say, okay, maybe not the greatest spot. Franchise will get the last laugh for now. Keeping in mind, Fran, in the meantime, trying to challenge Fire and Ice at their own home hill. Maybe going to cause a few problems. Communication could be a little bit all over the place if he can maybe get to their home hill and start to make things a little bit more difficult. Looks, in fact, he has, not having, however, this hill without some struggles. Full red for him. Speaking of full red, exploits, does get taken down officially. That will be Rushy is adding a few more. B-God will be there for the ending exchange, but can he bounce? Just on the other end. So trades back and forth. Keep in mind, Reciprocity with the advantage. However, Fire and Ice will win off of time. As things start to come to a little bit of a slow standstill, the push about to come down the barrel here for Rec.
Yeah, you get that one break. Looks like B is the hill that they're trying to choose, but you see all the different members of Fire and Ice there waiting. Rec needs to get on one of those hills soon, otherwise, like you mentioned, F&I will take the time lead. Kenny gets one, gets a nice back A, gets a second. But Fire and Ice, they're taking control of the lead. They're going to have to hop on both hills. Obviously, they've chosen not to spawn back in. Kenny can't do it all himself. Fire and Ice strike first on map number 2.
Wow.
Kenny got a nice little highlight, though, in the mix. Can't complain.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you get your highlight and you just get out. And that's all there is to it, I guess, from time to time. But still, Reciprocity, like we said, this is their map pick. So you're looking at them most likely to come through and really start to change things up. However, you do have to keep in mind, despite the top 16 finish that Fire and Ice did suffer when it came down to San Diego, they also, most recently in week 4 of Emergence days, which led up to San Diego, they actually, like we said, did end up finishing second, right? They ended up falling to Ghost Gaming in somewhat of a more dominant final, but still, yep, they got there, and they obviously proved a lot of people in some ways wrong. Taking down some solid rosters on the way there. I think High was actually one of those teams, which kind of surprised me, but like I said, you can't really count out these boys. Fire and Ice, Choche and the gang, like we said, maybe a new roster change coming forth, and that could be exactly what they need to reinvigorate this team, right? You start adding in some more talent, and sometimes that kind of 20% of your team can be the majority.
Yeah, and Exploit's obviously one of the stronger players on that EGYX team. Definitely a good addition for the Fire and Ice boys. Again, they want more and more experienced players to kind of help Raver grow, kind of help him gain more experience himself. Exploits has been on the main stage. He's played with the likes of the members of Ghost Gaming, and he's been on that team in the past. He knows what it takes. Definitely a good pickup, and Fire and Ice continue to kind of strike on this second map. Choche, full red, trying to stay alive. They're going to do it. All members of Reciprocity go down.
Got you.
Fire and Ice are sticking around. They go up 2-0 on map number 2, not rolling over to the San Diego champs whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely not. That's a 52nd round, and kind of was just them continuing to put that foot on the gas pedal consistently, collectively. See if they can keep it up. This is kind of the moment for Reciprocity. We're saying, all right, okay, things have kind of got a little bit out of hand. Let's go ahead and change things up. We need maybe somebody to make a play, be influential. But this is what I talk about. And I want to, once we get the opportunity to visit Reciprocity's life bank, see where they're sitting at. Anybody's a little bit low. You have to be very conscious of those things because at least so far throughout the night, for me, it has been these early 3-0s that have caused these rosters on the other side so many problems. It almost guarantees a 4th round, depending on the way that you play it. So for Reciprocity, it looks as if no real struggles on their end, which I'm pretty happy to see. Obviously for Fire and Ice, all level. But you've got, what, the lowest person being Powers and Rushies both at 3. So they're kind of consistent. So my issues or maybe my worries are nothing to really be worried about, at least for now.
Okay, so Rush, get the party started. Kenny, get a kill of his own. 4 members quickly go down for Fire and Ice. Reciprocity on the offensive, of course. Spawns getting shorter and shorter. The last remaining member is going to be up top. Got the nice lasers to back him up. Tries to push. Gonna get nowhere. Exploits doing a little bit of the same. Runs up to Kenny. Looks like he missed that shot, unfortunately. Here comes that utility. Reciprocity trying their best to finish this off with this trip cap. Kenny getting a kill. Rush getting a kill. Powers getting it down. Things are looking good for Reciprocity. Nowhere these Fire and Ice members can go, but into the blender. Raver gets 1. Can the young star of LATAM get 2? He's at least keeping his team involved. Keeping him alive in the round. Woo! He's going to get yet another one. Someone stop Raver. Looks like the answer is no. Nobody can.
That was
and he's a lot of
very impressive.
And he's, again, one of the kind of the next shining stars of this LATAM scene. Choche even told me he's afraid that you know, Ghost Gaming or someone's going to try to poach him one day because he's so good.
Obviously proving it in sequences like that. Raver keeping this round alive for the group and making it all the interesting. As Crystallized does take down Kenny Bounce. That will be Reciprocity, at least down a man for the time. He'll quickly be off of that respawn here and back into the fray. But still, even yet, Fire and Ice, they have been looking very, very good. And kind of in that clutch moment where you're looking for Rec to say, okay, here we go. We got 4 down, at least off the rip. Now's our chance. No, they don't get that opportunity that you'd think would be theirs a majority of the time. Excellent, excellent collective play coming through from Fire and Ice, but now it's a chance where they can really start to add on to it. Rushies shuts down Crystallized and says, finally, good night to you, Raver. The new man on the block exploits just around the corner. Can he keep the team alive? Unfortunately, he cannot, does not take anybody down, and I guess it was just a delay of the inevitable as Reciprocity took some time, but finally get their first round here in map number 2.
A good way to stop the bleeding. Finishes half off with a 2-2. Look at the respawns. Pretty similar. No one really in any danger kind of as we head into this final round. So chances are if one of this next round is going to be won off of the merits of the team, not necessarily the team getting ahead in those respawns. You're going to see, looks like Fire and Ice with an insend. Rec getting an insend down as well. You're going to see pretty much the mirroring strategy. Again, we see Reciprocity choosing not to put anything on the back end. I'm curious to the kind of the approach behind that. We've seen a lot of teams put extra utility in the back end. Again, keep harping on the bull talk. Rec continues to kind of just build on the sides. You gotta imagine they're gonna build 1 incense on one side, 1 shock grenade on the other side. Kind of favoring that as their utility versus kind of the extra flash grenades early.
Where she's tagged up, looks to the side. Here comes the first flash, and I love that play. Unfortunately, misses the first shot, so Exploits manages to escape for the time. Choche ends up finding the first, manages to back up. On the other end, though, Raver gets taken down, so trades back and forth. Fire and Ice in general, however, do lose 2. And due to that slight advantage given toward the set of Reciprocity, the scale favors them. They also, in the meantime, managed to hold on and grab that B Hill.
You're seeing F&I kind of choosing which side they want to push on. Of course, in this exhibit map, those very defined side lanes around the hill. Looks like their decision's been made. Exploit gets 1. Kenny's going to be there to trade. Raver there for the trade, and then Rushy's there for the trade. Trades to everywhere, which way possible. Now Rush wins a big fight to keep that B hill in the hands of Reciprocity. Moves forward, getting some nice shots on the Crystallize. Now it's going to give Powers a lot of help on the back end. F&I trying to throw everything they can at the slaying duo of Reciprocity. No one is able to take either member down just yet. Rush gets the melee, gets the follow-up shot, and gets the kill. Choche is going to be taken out in the process. Somebody stop the Rush, man. Finally, Raver with the down. And then he even takes out his own teammate for good measure.
I didn't need you anyway. Oh, gosh.
And a good trade by Rush on the way out. It's the best you can ask for.
Good. I tell you what, man. We have so many highlights from Rushies. It's actually absurd. I think he may have like the most highlights in Emergence Days history. Just because, I don't know, it's just like he always, at least at one point during a series, has just the one turning tide moment. He, alongside Kenny, at least has recently, have been guys who I've been very aware of. However, on top with that, BGod having to back up, and this is kind of like that little corridor where you're always looking at, majority of the time, the team that holds that position normally holds on to that middle hill. Indicative of that happens to be Reciprocity with the advantage, taking down player after player, finishing things up as Franchise, doing the dirty work, as that will be 250 reached, and Reciprocity evening the scoreline here, closing out this first half at a tie, 2-all.
Yeah, we talked about how many respawns each team had coming in. By the time that round was over, I think it was 3 members of Fire and Ice had 0 and out. So a lot of slaying by Reciprocity throughout that round. Good job by them tying it back up. Trying to just end this in a 2-2. Keep in mind, Exhibit was their map pick, right? So them to kind of go down early on their map pick definitely was a little surprising. You saw Rushes in particular through 4 rounds has 20 eliminations, but making play after play for this team. Again, one of those players who definitely got a little bit of a buff, I would say, with that new movement updated player, known for quick movement, quick aggression, very good at those kind of technical shots. Making a show here. He got, however, stops him in his tracks with a big old ball of fire. Advantage seemingly in Fire and Ice's hands early.
Fire and Ice, is he, okay, I was gonna say, I wasn't for sure if you have the name Fire and Ice, like, do you just happen to be, maybe not have to worry about fire when you run through it? I guess you do. BGod, despite being God, unfortunately, does get taken down, crystallized as well. Gracing through the hallways, the thundering of shots. Not gonna distract him as Kenny runs right into the line side. Can he find another over at Icy? A very clutch situation, and Crystallized gets it done. Unfortunately, he falls. Fran will be there, but still, you like the impact that play has for Fire and Ice as they manage to push all the way back. Reciprocity to their base, as now they're pretty much licking their wounds and trying to force themselves back into the fray. But still, that aggression from Fire and Ice cannot be discounted.
Yeah, Reciprocity kind of getting down early. And that first nice shot going wide on Raver is ended up getting dropped. Raver taking down to 7% health, but it was not enough. Lucky for Fran did have teammates there for the revive. Reciprocity continuing to move forward, continuing to be aggressive. Miss shot, miss melee. Crystallized makes him pay now. It's Fire and Ice beginning to move forward. Looks like Rush is trying to scare him away alongside Powers. It's a scary duo to push right now, I'll tell you that much. All these players get tagged up. Crystallized down to even 1% health. Raver down to 1% health before being dropped. Kenny gonna go ahead and clean up a kill too. Again, that duo just Powers and Rush, so hard to push, both so fast, so accurate. You can see why just there.
Crystallized has to reference back, keeping in mind, despite Reciprocity's solid kind of in-sequence play, it is still Fire and Ice with a very solid advantage.
Look what I found!
As it's going to need to be Reciprocity who comes through with the domination, or at least advances on through. Crystallized somehow manages to take out Raver. Takes down Rushies, but even still in the midst of things, here come the fights. Kenny drops Crystallize, has a few more in front of him, but unfortunately he can't make a whole lot work, as this will be Fire and Ice's round, as they manage to respond back here in the second half, claiming their first. It's been some time since they won a round, but that was the time to do it, reclaim the advantage, and do your best to try to find that fourth as quick as possible.
And take a look at the scoreboard. You see the slaying from Reciprocity, but in the end, Fire and Ice currently the ones leading on the scoreboard. Crystallize having a good map for his team. You see just the death count over on the COG side versus the Swarm side. But hey, it's all about those objectives, right? Those are the ones that put the points on the board at the end of the day. Now, see those incense going to be halved over on Fire and Ice. See what Reciprocity chooses. You got to imagine they're going to do the same, right? Both these teams are going to want that very quick incend. does a lot of the same. So again, this that swing round we talked about, right? We kind of trying to determine which one of these rounds every map. We were so used to the 13-round maps right now. Now we've kind of determined that this is sort of the situation now. You start to talk about kind of where the map begins to swing, right? If you're Reciprocity, your chance to kind of tie it up. If you're Fire and Ice, your opportunity to really stranglehold the map, right? Really take full control and put yourselves in a position to send this to a third map. So again, a very important initial at bay. Choche gets a nice first shot in the rush. Rush answers back with a melee. Kenny is there for the help, but B-God cleans them both up with an incense, baited them out, and made them pay. And he's not done. He's getting the third. He shoots behind Franchise, even trying to go for Powers, has the mark from his teammates. Powers trying to dip and dodge best he can. F&I just playing smart, playing wide. Despite all that, Reciprocity still somehow managed to be the ones on top of the objectives. That play from Ice is going to force Fire and Ice to kind of turn around. So despite, you know, kind of going down in kills early, Fire and Ice didn't get a whole lot for it. Reciprocity still very much in this round.
And not much bang for your buck if you're Fire and Ice. Despite that, though, they will manage to reclaim over at F. I believe they ended up taking down a very pesky Icy, who I think only had like 6 deaths coming into this round, which is by far the lowest of anybody in this game. So someone who absolutely makes worth of all the time that they have on the map. Like we said, he'll unfortunately fall in that situation. Reciprocity, they reclaim here and looking to hold on to this current position. And right now, if you're Fire and Ice, it's all about how they want to try and break. Reciprocity's not going to try and engage on something that they already control. It's about how you break through the doors. And Exploits looking to be the first man to do that on one side. Choche trying to do some damage, takes down Fran. Here comes the flash. Kenny needs to win this game, or rather win this fight. Unfortunately, misses the shot and has to reference back. Manages to take down the King and now has to quickly focus his attention over toward Exploits, which he does perfectly. Fire and Ice, welcome back to the drawing board.
A couple of very nice shots from Kenny. I like that when he threw that flash and got the stun. You notice how he went over there, he went for the shot, he missed it, and a lot of players would kind of sit there and dance and try to finish that kill. When he noticed that he wasn't getting the free kill, he turned right back around, headed towards the neutral hill, and was there for his teammates to follow up, help him get that down, and then get to turn around and shoot the player he was aiming at before. Yeah. So a very, very heads-up play by Kenny that I'm sure a lot of people didn't quite kind of see in real time.
Always doing something, right? Always doing something, always trying to contribute. Very solid play. Powers, Kenny, Rushies, everybody getting involved in that kill feed is crystallized. The last man up as 5 will fall, and Reciprocity. An exclamation point here in round number 6. As for another time, we find ourselves at an even scoreline. Fire and Ice, they're trying desperately to get out ahead of Reciprocity, but they are just continually there, Ryan, back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, Fire and Ice obviously doing a good job of still staying at bay despite the slaying power from Reciprocity. We're currently at a 3-3, so plenty of map left to go. It's like Reciprocity finally using that backside spot to put on some utility. Fire and Ice going to probably mirror them and do the same. One incense on each side. There's a whole lot of flash grenades.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's exactly how Exhibit can be. They say no flash photography, but, you know, it just continually happens over and over again. It's Gears. No one cares. Keeping in mind, if you're just joining us, Reciprocity currently find themselves up 1-0 in our semifinal. If they lock this one up, they will be advancing to the grand finals to face off against NRG for the 8,000th time in a row. Fire and Ice looking to make it back-to-back grand finals for them. They were in that Week 4 Grand Final versus Ghost Gaming. Unfortunately, could not claim it, but still will take a worthy second place finish. And they say the silver medal's the ugliest, but I actually think it's pretty nice. You know, it may be gray, but hey, I'll take it.
There we go. You're seeing Raver trying to hold off the double flash, but you see the aggression coming in from Rec. Both members are spotted. Both members are getting drilled from all angles, trying their best to just stay alive as Reciprocity continues to build that lead with the neutral hill. Kenny almost getting caught off guard a little bit, but they don't know that Icy's there waiting for him. Gets one. He's going to be dropped himself. The numbers advantage in Fire and Ice's favor right now. Looks like they're choosing whether or not they want to spawn. You're going to see Kenny still showing at 0%.
Yeah.
Looks like Fran and Rush have actually decided to spawn up. A little bit of a lead still. I can totally see that. They get that first down. Reciprocity remains in the round. Fire and Ice will take the time lead back soon. Of course, they do have that 2-cap. Greg trying to go over there as fast as he can. You see Franchise rocking that blood red speaker skin. For completing that tour duty, gets in the flank. And fails to do what is the hardest thing to do in video game history, which is come up behind someone in Gears of War that doesn't see you and shoot. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure you call in the chat. No, if you come up behind someone that doesn't see you with a shotgun, for some reason it's 10 times harder than shooting at someone wall bouncing. That's just the scientific facts at this point. So
it's just like a wide open free throw. You know, it seems like you should make it every time, but it's just the pressure.
Yep, it just doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. I like that. Fire and Ice advantage right now. Actually, Rushy's manages to break on through. We talked about highlight plays. Does he have another one in store? Does take down Raver and instantly has his good old captain there in terms of Franchise to watch over. Unfortunately, Fran not playing the medic this time around as Powers having to make a situation occur, and he does. Exploits Choche. B-God is there, though. Cleans up the kill. Will hold on to E for now. So if you're Fire and Ice, at least in terms of so far how this round is working, it is favorable. But you see Fran manages to just dip out. Not cold feet, actually the exact opposite. Runs right into the ringer. Now Reciprocity, they have to make a play. They need to make something happen, and nobody is going to be there for the ending sequence, as that will be Fire and Ice grabbing a very influential 4th round. And now are 1 round away from forcing this one to a Game 3 here, Ryan.
Yeah, looking good so far. Definitely a scrappy round. They come away with it as we look at the weapon placement. Fire and Ice going to put that Bulltalk on the back end. You know, I love me some Bulltalk play. Let's see, Reciprocity chooses to mirror it. If they choose to create some extra utility.
I will say, kind of in sequences like this, is we'll see what they obviously been to go for here.
Bulltalk.
Reciprocity.
A lot of mirroring.
In this situation, like I said, normally we used to talk about Reciprocity. Oh my gosh, they're always in situations where they have a lead and they lose it. I feel like at San Diego, the one thing that they had to overcome was their kryptonite, right? They go down 0-2 versus Astral, and they managed to do what has caused them so many problems in the past. This is a team who, like I said, off of that kind of San Diego high, now doesn't really have the pressure of having to worry about that same stigma.
Absolutely. This team gets a ton of flack from the community and has for years about choking, this and that, and not being clutch. And at San Diego, they were the clutchest team in the building, and it wasn't close. Huge clutch win over EU's finest that kind of positioned them in the bracket. Of course, the clutch up they did against Estral in the finals. I mean, every which way where they had to make something happen at the nick of time when they're down, whether it's down in maps, down in rounds, whatever it may be, they clutched up at every opportunity, and they were the most clutch team in the building, which, like you mentioned, we're not used to seeing.
We'll see if they can do it here. We'll see what what his game plan is.
And it's looking tough right now. It's basically powers against the world. He's going to be dropped. Fire and Ice looking strong on Reciprocity's map pick, sending yet another top team to a 3rd and final map.
I got to say, just in terms of the way that the kind of overall teams are looking, I love this. I really do. A team who obviously walked away with San Diego and a team who finished top 16 to have a series like this consistently is great. I'm loving the Game 3s. I'm loving just the overall way that all of these games are starting to progress. And we talked about a number of different teams that kind of have thrown their hat in the ring over time. I just for overall sake, I won't say everybody, but even still, yeah, Fire and Ice is still saying, hey, you know what? Maybe despite our top 16 placement, we also can throw our hat in the ring from time to time. So